We are live on the QB Huddle Podcast. I'm Tim Smith, joined always by my podcast partner, Brandon Newey. And
What
here we
up?
go again to talk all things quarterback. Now we only had two left. Tonight we're going to wrap up the 2023 football season. We'll break down the Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the 49ers. So let's get this thing going. Brandon, have you recovered yet? Talk
No,
about it.
no, absolutely not. I mean, that was arguably the most devastating loss I've ever had as a fan and I've ever seen. It kind of took me back to when the Texas Rangers lost their first appearance at the World Series, and we had a shot, but with Texas Rangers, you really didn't high expectation, and you felt like, okay, they're there, yeah, that's awesome. Let's see what happens. That's kind of how I felt in 19 too, right? After a drought, after Harbaugh, um, things were really going our way. And yeah, I mean, I thought we were going to win in 19, but dude, just the nucleus of this team, the way everything just lined up, it just looked like the stars aligned, and we lost again. It's our third straight Super Bowl loss. And it was the most viewed Super Bowl of all time. And it just so happens that your team was on the bad end of it. We had our chances, I'll dive into it a little bit, but you know, we simply cannot
Please
get it
do.
done. We can't get it done. We have yet to get it done. We have been to 7 title games, Tim, in 12 years.
Now,
7 title games in 12 years.
I know that you're hurting right now, and I told you
Oh,
this off camera. I don't feel sorry for you because we've been to no title games.
I get
I
it,
haven't
man.
seen my team compete for a Super Bowl since the
I don't
90s.
feel sorry for you.
So I have a hard
Look, man.
time feeling your pain. I can understand losing. The last time that I was that angry at a Cowboys loss, as you described to me off camera, is when they lost to Green Bay in 14. And so
Yeah,
that's when I stopped being emotionally involved in the Cowboys, and I follow
for
them and
sure.
I love them. If they win, that's great. But you know what? I kind of don't expect it. So
Yeah, I mean,
you're getting there, so you have to expect that you're going to continue to get
yeah.
there.
The overtime loss, it sucks. We shouldn't even have been in the situation. I feel like there was a ton of missed opportunities. I mean, there is multiple examples. I can go down the rabbit hole. We fumble on the first drive. We muff a punt, which really isn't on Ray McCloud, but you got to fall on that ball. It hits the guy's foot. And that really changed the momentum of the game. The Chiefs weren't doing very much, right? We were getting stops, 3 and outs. But you can't allow Mahomes that many opportunities and expect that it's still going to go your way.
Right.
We had a blocked extra point, which I felt like if that extra point isn't blocked, game's probably over, right? There's another one. There's a third down one where there's an unsighted blitzer that comes out, which we need to keep the running back in, and we keep motioning them out when we obviously know it's going to be man, but you still got to protect your quarterback with the number 1 or the 29th ranked offensive line. We got exposed on the line the other night. Questionable calls during, crucial moments. I feel like after going back and watching the 22, we lost that game in the third quarter. We ran the ball twice in the third quarter, and we're up. I feel like as good as a play caller Kyle can be, Kyle gets in his own way, and he's done it several times in crunch time moments. He's blown several leads. This is back-to-back 10-point leads in the Super Bowl as a head coach on the same damn team. It's in the way you guys were describing him, it's just, yeah, he's got to go through it. But Andy Reid didn't win shit in 15 years until he got Mahomes, right? So maybe there's a chance here, but also we have to go through the growing pains of a first-time head coach. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like this is his first time ever being a head coach. And I mean, yes, he's been our head coach for a while, but it's like we're learning, we're growing with him. And it sucks because it's like you should want to step back and take counseling. You're always trying to be the smartest man in the room. You're very defensive in press conferences. You had the youngest kid on your team take the entire responsibility. Said, I got to do better. And by no means did Brock Purdy shit the bed. He rose to the occasion. But man, as a coach, you got to own it. It blows my mind, man, because in fourth quarters, in the Super Bowl, and we've seen Kyle in 3, right? One as an OC with the Falcons,
Sure.
and 2 as a head coach with the Niners. 58 points to 12. You can't
Golly.
do that. You can't, like, it.
What attributes to that, Brandon?
Not sticking to what got you there. You got the offensive player of the year, arguably should have been the MVP in Christian McCaffrey. Just feed that man. Yeah, he got touches. Like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like he got touches at the wrong moment. He didn't get touches at the right moment.
Yeah.
Right? You know, we went 3 for 12 in third down, and there's 7 third downs where it's third and short. And we failed to establish the run. Like, that is coaching negligence. And so I feel like moving forward, do I want Kyle as our coach? Hell no. Because I feel like he's too arrogant to get it. He's too arrogant to get out of his own way. You need someone like a true alpha that could be a defensive coordinator, aka I want Rex Ryan. I want Rex because I know
Ryan to be the new head coach of the San Francisco 49ers.
he don't have to be the head coach, but he can be someone who Kyle really respects. And Kyle has. He can stay because, I mean, he signed an extension, man. He signed an extension.
He's not going anywhere.
I would love to see like a Bill Belichick or a Rex Ryan, someone who has that veteran defensive mindset, very tough and tenacious, has this track record of success at that coordinator position for many years, but also has a good understanding of clock management and how to control the game. And I feel like they could be a vessel to him to help him stay engaged. Like, hey, Kyle, you know we should be running this right now, right? Like, hey, take some time off, let it chill. Like, he needs counsel. He needs a counsel, and he needs someone who can really step in. Maybe his dad, like on bigger games, or someone show up and because Kyle gets in Kyle's way, man. And I feel like as good as a coordinator he is, as far as the system, cool, it works. But when one person is out, you tend to get away from what you do best. When Debo start cramping up, why in the hell are we throwing Debo 11 targets when he can't separate from man and he has cramps?
And he's having cramps, right?
You got to get in some fucking shape, man. I'm sorry for cussing, but it's like you're indoors, bro. Get an IV and come back. Like, what are we doing? Brandon Ayuk not getting enough targets. We may lose BA. Kittle getting 3 targets the whole game.
Yeah, Kittle was
right. This is just mind blowing. Out of 38 passes. What are we doing? And then so happens our lowest ranked receiver somehow ends up becoming the best receiver that game. And a one that Brock Purdy trusts. Now, one thing I think Brock's got to do this upcoming season is really dive into the playbook and have the ability to check plays and arrange different things when you see bullshit. Right? One thing I loved about my OCs is they gave me the autonomy to do things like that. If I see something, right? Kyle wants you to trust the system in its entirety. But as you get older, as defenses start to watch you, they understand your tendencies. In the beginning of the first half, they were jumping Brock Purdy's cadence, right? So sometimes we got to slow down, bring it back, allow him to control some things, slide protect, do some different option things. The good thing about Brock Purdy, he's evolved. Right? From the spread offense in high school, spread offense, run and shoot in college. Now you're running a pro style, West Coast style offense. You have the ability, you've seen a few of these nuances, right? Have the freedom to check and keep yourself out of harm's way. Man, what the hell? I just can't believe it. And I swear to God, Tim, I'm not putting too much stock in this shit ever again when it comes to this.
I feel
they go. But with this head coach, I know I've seen your cards way too many times. It's up to him to adjust. It ain't the players, it ain't the defense, it ain't the offense, it ain't the special teams. It's you as a whole, man. You've got to allow people to have an ear, man. There's too many good coaches that keep getting head coaching jobs, but you keep screwing things up. So they're obviously not following you. They probably said, well, I would have did this. I would have did this. You're not taking any constructive criticism, and you're not falling on the sword, man. It's pathetic, man. It reminds me of a teenager to a degree. It really does, man. Like, I've never seen him say, man, that's on me, man. I got to get us prepared better. For not knowing anything, not knowing the rules in overtime is
That's not
Absolutely
good.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a bad look, especially when they ask Mahomes that same question. He says, "Look, we went over that. We went over it several times throughout the week, and even in our meetings and on that morning, the rules of overtime because they've changed, and that was the first time that we've seen the new overtime rules take effect in the Super Bowl. So everybody wasn't prepared for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and there's a quote, man,
Yeah.
that I've lived by since college. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
Oh, we know that. I love that. That's 100% true.
Kyle,
Poor Kyle.
it ain't no damn poor
No,
Kyle.
he has
Poor
that look on his
fans,
face.
poor us. Like, we invest so much into you guys. God, dog. At least we get there. Sorry, Cowboy fans. But
Oh,
damn, can we just finish the race? Can we
ouch.
just finish it? Can we
Listen,
finish it? And guess the crazy part is, who's the favorites in the Super Bowl next year? Us. Wow.
how?
Get it, Tim. We got the best roster in the
Okay,
league, bro.
well,
From
that's fair,
top to
but
bottom.
I
The
mean,
only person that ain't the top is Purdy, obviously, because freaking Mahomes. It's Mahomes' world, and we're living in it. So kudos to that man, because he is a machine, and he took advantage of the opportunities. That's what you're supposed to do.
I think I was very clear last week when I said why I was picking the Chiefs to win. It was because of the coaching, really Andy Reid versus Kyle Shanahan, and it
Right.
showed in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
when the Chiefs were coming back. And they made that little run to get the game into overtime.
Right.
And they showed Kyle's face at one point during that, and he just looked like he had the Dak Prescott look that Dak tends to get in the playoffs,
It's
right? He had
Kyle
that
being Kyle.
deer in the headlights look of, he's kind of looking at the sheet and he's looking up in the air and he's looking at the sheet, and it just seemed like he didn't know what to do, and you got the feeling of him thinking to himself, "Oh, here we go again, here we go again,"
Yep.
And Patrick Mahomes, by the way, has made 14-point comebacks in each of his Super Bowl victories, which I didn't know that. I saw that stat on TV the other day or on Facebook or something.
He's a
But
bad
he
man,
continues
dude.
to make comebacks, and
He's a bad man.
I thought the way it started, I thought both defenses were playing well. I thought the 49ers offense was dominating up front. The first half, they certainly dominated on both lines of scrimmage. San Francisco did.
Tale of two halves, man.
I think, man, both teams fumbling in the red zone. That was a little crazy. I don't know what was going on with that ball early on in the game. No one could seem to hold on to it. And then, at the end of the day, I thought Andy Reid just had a better game plan. And, I love the play at the end. What was it? Tom and Jerry.
Look, I
Something
don't,
like that at the
Tim,
end.
but I don't though, bro. They were struggling for a while. You know what caught their break? It was that It was the punt return. It was the fumble. That's what caught fire. Other than that, they were mediocre as hell the entire game.
They were more prepared when it mattered.
They didn't look like they belonged there. Let's just call it what it is. Until they didn't look like they belonged. No, they did not. The whole entire quarter until that punt return, until that muff punt, it's like bingo, got your ass. And kudos to them. Kudos, because they were playing like Tim. They were playing like shit the entire game. Bro.
Remember when I said weird things happen when you play against Mahomes?
Yep,
and the
some
Chiefs
weird
right
stuff. Dre Greenlaw pops his Achilles.
That's the thing that I think changed the game.
Oh my Lord!
Because his replacement came in and gave up like 14 passes,
9 catches, man. And here's the thing: we and didn't I tell you? Oh my God, this is so crazy. Didn't I tell y'all that this Trey Lance trade would come back to bite us in the ass? This whole Trey Lance experience, we gave up 3 first-round picks, bro. We have no depth.
Oh,
so when somebody goes down, did I not tell y'all that? We have no depth. Because we lost out on people. Now, granted, we have 11 draft picks coming up, but, man, that was crucial. That also goes back to who?
Is he does he act as he works with John Lynch, I assume, and trying to build.
He does. I feel like John Lynch has built. Yeah, John Lynch has built a great team. We missed on a couple of first-round picks. It's not. But, dude, these guys are in it every single year. And that's the beauty of it. You can get there, but do what got you there, man. No pressure. Just do it. Like, you're a great offensive mind. You are not that good of a head coach. You're not. You're not good at situational football to a degree.
There's a lot of coaches that aren't.
You fold like a paper plate when it
Surprising.
comes to pressure. When you got studs, all pros, all across the field. I feel like right now the locker room, I don't know if they're giving a side eye to Kyle, but I feel like they know this is on Kyle. They should have never been in overtime, dude. And this is to the point next year, you're going to see people erupt. It will not be the same type of, this is the Kyle Shanahan. Nah, hell nah. You start getting in your way, you're going to have players like CMC and a few guys getting your ass. Like, hey, we not doing that. We doing
Will
this.
you have pretty much the same team next year?
Yes, we will have damn near the exact same team. Now, we got some free agents that are going to be leaving. I feel like we should keep Randy Gregory. I loved his effort. I feel like we can build off of that.
How about Chase Young?
Nah, he's out. He's too damn lazy. He
Okay,
only
was
showed
he-
up
was
on
he
two.
lazy in the Super Bowl? I saw him on the stat.
Because $25 million was on the line. So, of course, he was going to sell out. Now, he did a good job, but I just don't feel like the duration. No, not at all. Jawan Jennings is probably going to get paid. We're going to miss Jawan. We can't afford him because we got to pay BA. Everybody seems to be, in that kind of restructure mindset, but we got to go draft some offensive linemen. We got to go get a Debo clone. There's a lot of things. We do. There's not, and that's not to take away from BA or Debo, but they're both 5'11" guys. When you get long, rangy corners, you can't separate from them like you once thought you could. I mean, both these guys run 4.5s, right? So they're not burners.
They're not burners. They're not
big. They're not big. They're physical. They are, but we need to get somebody who has size, who just commands a presence. He doesn't necessarily have to be the number one receiver, but someone who can at least balance out the field to where they don't get as much press coverage. We weren't getting very much separation last night, man, or the other night, man. And it exposed us to a degree. Now, how do we come back from it? Well, shit, we got to climb that long. We got to push that rock all the way back up that hill, man. We got to start all over again. And it is what it is. But I'll tell you this right now, I am not going to be emotionally invested like I once was. That hurt. That one hurt, bro. Like, that felt like I played. Because I'm sitting here like, are you serious? There's not one veteran that's going to come to Kyle and be like, hey, brother, let's do what got us here, man. Let's put some positive reinforcement in his head instead of just, okay. Leaders need to be leaders now. Like, this is when it's it. When you see your coach is in trouble, a coach cannot prepare you for every eventuality. He can't. Oh. So in that time, start to rear back. And hey, it's not to say check your coach, because I think what Travis Kelce did, despite what people may think, that's like his pops. That's like his pops. Hey, come on, pops, let's go.
It was a bad look. It was a bad look.
It was a bad look, but sometimes those things are needed because
he's lucky Andy didn't fall down.
I know, right? He grabbed him and he gave him a big hug, told him, I'm sorry. Yeah. Now, granted, to kids, yes, that's not a good thing.
Don't do
but when
that.
you have a relationship like that, I mean, we've had some instances where it's not necessarily like that. But if I'm playing like shit, hey, there's a game happening right now. Hey, let's turn this shit on. Or hey, stick to what got you here. Hey, Tim, hey, no, calm down. Right? I've had those relationships with the OCs to where it's just like, hey, I remember with Kevin Cox back in the day, we used to try to light people up 60 points a game. I'm like, dude, pump the brakes because you're about to get me killed. Right? So there's a fine balance. And I feel like with Brock Purdy's relationship with Kyle, there needs to be a fine tuning and understanding because Brock saved his job. Because what he did with the whole Trey Lance experience is a fireable offense. That is coaching negligence, per se. You knew what you were doing and you did it.
But you have Brock Purdy now.
I understand that. He saved his job, man, but that trust has to be built in the offseason. The biggest weapon Brock Purdy has is his mind. His mind is phenomenal. Like, he processes information just as good as anybody else in the game, right? Now, let's find a way to protect him. Let's find a way to give him some different options. Let's find a way for him to work on things that he feels real comfortable with, and you can implement it in your offense. When things get tough, hey, appreciate you getting me out of that. Damn, that was a wrong call. How many times have I done that with you? Put you in a, like, you made a call, something, I'm like, ooh, this is the wrong one, and we got to get out of it. It's not the fact that you didn't call it. This was a setup, but this is an opportunity to be like, easy. Hey, scratch that. We're going here. right?
Well,
You got
I've
to give
always
him,
said
and I feel like Mahomes has that with Andy.
play callers call plays based on what you see and based on what you expect to see next. Sometimes the defense will show you something different, and now you've guessed wrong, so to speak. So the quarterback hopefully is good enough to get you out of that and get you into a play that works against the defense that is now being shown.
Sure.
And you were great at that. You were always great at that. I mean, you and I got into a situation, versus Nashville in 16, and we were in a dogfight in that game, but we never, to your point, we never strayed away from what we did. We never panicked. We never, tried to do something outside of our comfort zone or get cute. We just stuck with the plan and knew that sooner or later things would break. And that's what the Chiefs did. They didn't panic. They didn't start.
They didn't panic at all. We fed right into their game. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing about it. Most good play callers and most good coaches have a good sense of feel of how the game is going, right? Andy knew that I'm not really going to kill him deep. I'm going to hit all these little check downs. Like Mahomes was check down Charlie all game for a long time. He had to be, right? So whatever this game manager thing is, you just saw it from one of the greatest quarterbacks arguably of all time, right?
Fact.
He had to control the game to a degree. Exactly. And when it was time for – and when I'm watching Purdy and Mahomes, they're going throw for throw.
Yeah.
I mean, in the first half, both of them dialed in. There was like three incompletions
in the first half.
There was like three incompletions amongst both of them. I was like, damn, somebody's dialed in today.
I thought Purdy had the leg up in the first half. I thought Purdy was playing great. 49ers, obviously were winning, and I felt like it wasn't that Mahomes was playing bad, but Purdy was he was dialed in. He never showed nerves of being on the big stage. Not one time.
No, he didn't. He didn't. And one thing that we got away from is, again, we got away from those zone stretches. They're ranked 31st in zone defensive run. Come on and run defense, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Kyle. Make it make sense. You got 6 in the box. I understand they're doing this amoeba blitzing and shifts, and they'll do a little stunts here, but you still got a 5-on-5 here, or 5-and-1. McCaffrey make a miss, which 9 times out of 10 he does. Like, come on, guys. Like, you got to drop your nuts to a degree. And I feel like as an O-lineman, a Trent Williams, a guy like, hey, run the damn ball. Come to my side. I got him. Like, where's our leaders?
Where was that at?
No, like I'm going nuts. It's not the fact that I got to go nuts, but I'm charging my team up like, we're not about to let this happen, dog. We're battle tested the whole year, right? And I didn't see that. I saw a look like with teammates like, damn, bro, Kyle's being Kyle again. And everybody's scared to say something. But I felt like Kittle in that press conference kind of let him know.
I didn't hear the press conference for
Man.
Kittle. I was driving home from the Super Bowl.
It's little things I have to send to you, but it was just like, yeah, he's like, got to score touchdowns in the red zone. Got to score touchdowns in the red zone. We got away from what we did best. I was like, cook Kittle.
Man, I'll tell you, we'll move on from this, but I was at the Super Bowl party that you didn't attend, and
maybe I'll attend now.
I was kind of guessing what your mood was throughout the game, and there was a couple times I was like, oh, Brandon is super happy right now. Oh, Brandon's a little tense right now. Oh, Brandon's very angry right now. Like I knew probably what was going on when it was going on, but let's get you talking about something other than the 49ers and have some fun with this show. This is our last one of the 2023 season. So this Super Bowl, I know probably doesn't rank high for you as a 49er fan, losing for the third time here in the last 30 years or so. But
damn,
where does this game rank for you from Super Bowls in the past, man? I mean, it was a great game if you kind of take yourself out of the 49er fandom of it all.
I think if you love football and you just love a tough game amongst two great opponents, I think this was one of the better games. Yes, it was slow. It was methodical. It was a chess match. But at the end of the day, when you get an overtime victory and an ultimate Brady moment by the guy who's chasing Brady and he wins the game, it doesn't go vice versa. I mean, that's got to be one of the best Super Bowls you've seen from a trajectory where it's just like, it's kind of buzzing. Okay, then it goes, oh, it's just here. And it's like, holy, right? It took you on a ride. And I haven't seen a Super Bowl like that since New England and the Falcons. I still think that New England Falcons game was probably the best game because, I mean, man,
That was an
Atlanta got
amazing
out
game.
on it really fast. And then Tom Brady just had that stoic look, and he just kept chipping away. And then you had guys like Edelman talking up, this is going to be the greatest comeback.
It's the greatest story. It's going to be a great story. For your
Guys.
mom. We're going to win it for your mom.
Yes, Tom's
Yeah.
mom had cancer. Julian
she was
Edelman
at
made
that
that
game.
crazy ass catch, right? So,
Right.
but there's the difference right there. It's the leaders. It's the leaders. You got to will your team. And right now, man, Pat Mahomes is the king. He's the king of leaders right now. He does not bat an eye. The dude reminds me of Michael Jordan. It's like watching Michael Jordan play football. That's what it looks like. That's exactly like Tom doesn't enamor you with athleticism. He enamors you with precision.
More exciting. He's
very
more
cold, very just like stoic, right? But Patrick's a killer. Like he's a loud killer.
And it's funny because you watch him throw the ball and he does everything wrong. Right.
His mechanics are absolute. Ooh, Lord. It drives me
nuts.
Looks
aesthetically pretty, but the ball always gets where it needs to go, and he just finds a way, man. He's so fun to watch. He's fun.
Incredible.
This Super Bowl for me, without a dog in a fight, was still way up there. I felt it was well played on both sides. I felt like both quarterbacks showed up, which I'm a quarterback guy, so I love that. By the way, you can see I'm wearing my Aaron Rodgers jersey for the last show because he didn't get to play this year.
Hey, that's the longest. That's the longest that jersey's been out. Remember, he was out in 3 minutes. Damn.
Our RIP to Aaron Rodgers in 2023, his football year, but he'll be back in 24, so that's exciting. But man, this Super Bowl is up there. I've seen 45 of them or so at this point in my life, and that was probably in my top 10.
Damn.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of Super Bowls.
I remember the first one I watched was Super Bowl. It was the Michael Jackson one. That's the first
Michael
Super Bowl I ever saw, right? It was with the Bills, and it was at the Rose Bowl with Aikman
Bills and the Cowboys.
Yeah. They tried to make me into a Cowboy fan.
You should have. What? Hey, you wouldn't be so angry right now if you were a Cowboys fan.
I'm going to keep it real. I'd rather go through this than what y'all been through. Lord Jesus. Y'all are such a joke. But it's cool.
Oh, geez. All right, let's move on. Hey, thanks for everyone that's tuning in. We appreciate everyone that's coming on. Make sure you like and subscribe. Fanatics,
comments.
We're still waiting for you to come join us and be a sponsor for us. But make sure you like and subscribe. We're up to 102 now. So we're trying to get to 150 for more special surprises.
We still don't know who the 100. Yeah, we don't have the 100 subscriber.
Who was the 100th subscriber? Whoever you are.
Yeah, we don't know.
Never told us.
You just lucked out on your jersey. Sucks. They said, I know it hurt bad, but need it. Thanks a lot, Mo. Just keep pouring salt in the wounds. Maybe one day you guys will get there and feel the same feeling I'm feeling.
All right.
Hey, we're 5-3 in the Super Bowls. Hey, I've seen one, so I can't really. I've seen one, but damn it, can I just see one? Another one?
Were you at the one?
7.
Was that Steve Young?
Yeah.
Oh, I was a grown-ass man. How about that?
That's my guy, dude.
So we haven't seen the same number of Super Bowls, but let's look back at history and let's try to stay within Super Bowls that you've seen, Brandon.
Sure.
Give me your top 5 quarterback Super Bowl performances. If you can.
That I've actually seen?
That you've actually seen. Who are your top 5 performances that you've seen?
Man. Well, at 5, it was Troy Aikman at the Rose Bowl. It was 22 of 30, 273, 4 TDs, no picks. It's a phenomenal day, right?
It was.
Great day at the office.
Great day.
I thought Phil Simms. I think I watched an old Super Bowl one time of Phil Simms.
Phil Simms.
Yo, 22 of 25.
Yeah,
268, 3 TDs. The ball hit the ground 3 times, brother.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
In the Super Bowl?
It's pretty great.
Phil put his stamp on that one. I got Joe Montana from the 80s. I watched that one. 22 of 29, 297, 5 TDs, which used to be the record.
Broncos, yeah.
And then I got my boy Steve Young, a record 6 TDs, 24 of 36, 325, and 6 TDs, baby. Okay. That's the best statistical game of all time from efficiency standpoint and touchdowns. And the number one for me was the comeback versus the Falcons. for Tom
Yeah.
Brady. That solidified him as the greatest player of all time
Okay.
at the
I agree
quarterback
with you.
position.
On a lot of those, I agree with you. I went a little different from that on my
Where'd you
list.
go, Joe Namath? Yo, old ass. I bet you seen Joe.
I didn't see the Joe Namath Super Bowl.
You see Terry Bradshaw?
You know what? I didn't see Terry Bradshaw's Super Bowl either. My first Super Bowl was 1981. Well, you know what? It was 1980. It was the Eagles versus the Raiders. That's the first Super Bowl that I
Dick
remember.
Vermeil.
Yeah,
Kenny
that was
Stabler.
a long time ago. So I stayed away from the Cowboys just because I didn't want to be a homer. So here's my top five. At number 5, I have A-Rod versus the Steelers in 2009. That happened right here in Dallas. He was 24 for 39, 304, 3 touchdowns. But that Steeler defense that year was legit, and he tore them up. He was amazing that day. At number 4, I have Steve Young versus the San Diego Chargers. The Chargers probably didn't even need to be in that game. But Steve Young torched them 24 for 36, 325, 6 touchdowns.
He's the only quarterback to throw for 6 touchdowns, Tim.
It was an amazing performance, but it was, again, I felt like it was
I had him at number 2.
Huge. It was a very mismatched game. That's why I had him a little bit lower. At number 3, I have the performance we just saw, Mahomes versus San Francisco. And the reason is not the statistics that blow you off or blow you out the door, but it's what he did in the fourth quarter and overtime. And the way he just rose to that occasion. The fact is that in week 8, we said the Chiefs weren't going to be there. Going into Buffalo, we said Mahomes couldn't play a playoff game on the road. When I say we, I mean the NFL media. They told us that Mahomes couldn't win on the road, right?
Shit.
He went in and torched everyone.
That boy a killer.
And he won the Super Bowl when really and truly the 49ers should have won that game, but Mahomes found a way. At number 2, I've got Montana versus Denver. You referenced that game earlier. He was amazing that day, 22 for 29, 297, 5 TDs. And then at number 1, I've got every single Tom Brady Super Bowl that he won, just because he was typically amazing in each of them. Had a fourth quarter comeback in damn near all of them, except that Seattle one where the defense stepped up and made the play at the end. But you're right. That Falcons game is my probably number 1 Super Bowl ever. Because of just the way it went down.
I forgot to mention, really, I don't.
What?
I don't feel like Pat Mahomes. Like
I got him in there because that
already
to me
number
was
3.
An incredible Super Bowl performance to do that at the end like he did.
Hey man, did you see that play where it was like 2nd and 10 and he ran for 2 yards and they put a first down?
I think that's trickery. I think that's I don't think that's real because I didn't notice it during the game and I would have. Would you have noticed it during the game?
I did.
Did you notice it? I think it's trickery.
I
don't know what happened there.
I don't know, but I don't like the fact that when he runs, it's like people can't hit him.
That's true.
I love Mahomes, man. I'm always rep for my light-skinned brothers.
People don't know, man. If he reminds me of old Ty Bell because he used to do the same shit. He used to pump fake 20 yards downfield. DBs would jump in the air, act like he was going to pitch it to absolutely nobody, and that's what Mahomes does. And
I'm taking the penalty, Tim. I'm taking the penalty.
He's going to put the helmet through his chest.
I'm going to put my helmet right through his damn chest, and he's going to think twice to run ever again outside over here. Like, I need somebody to do that. I need football to come back because what we were doing, like, come on, bro. All those holding calls, and I understand holding happens every play, but in some of the most crucial moments, you practically bear hugged Nick Bosa and threw him to the ground. I was like, that's a hold.
To be fair, I thought the referees did a good job of staying out of the game as a whole.
Yeah, they didn't want to try to blow it.
In the overtime, that kind of surprised me. Like, you waited till overtime to throw the flags? Okay.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
They let the boys play, I thought, for the most part.
Kudos to the Chiefs, man. They are a machine right now, and maybe we'll get there. Maybe we will.
Maybe.
We'll see. I feel like the 1980 Denver Broncos. That's how I feel right now.
Woo,
every time they got in the championship, but they used to get their ass whooped. Lord Jesus.
Them and the Bills for a while.
So I can't say the Bills because it's only been 2 since Kyle Shanahan. It's been 2. He's only been to 2. Right? Harbaugh lost one, right? So I can't really say we're Bills yet, but we damn near on there. We're on that
the Bills
verge.
did lose 4 in a row, so no one will ever be the Bills, I don't think, again. 4 in a row is a lot.
Somebody said, we've seen Mahomes draw the flag as a runner. Man, I feel like Mahomes out there running like he plays flag football. He doesn't play like I'm about to get hit.
No, because he hasn't
Like
gotten hit like
somebody,
that yet.
man, somebody needs to deck him. And I love, hey, don't get me wrong, man. I love Mahomes, bro. Don't get me wrong. It's good to see a brother win another. I hate it's against our team, but I love to see you on top, man. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good for the kids.
Are you gonna watch the parade
Right?
tomorrow?
You a good dude. Nah, I ain't watching that damn parade. For what? I'm not watching another football game till UFL comes on.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well I'm watching.
I'm boycotting the NFL until the season.
So we talked about the best performances of all time.
Roger Goodell, you broke my heart. The script was off.
We don't have any garbage juice this week, so let's talk about garbage juice performances in the Super Bowl. Your top 5 garbage juice performances of all time from a quarterback in the Super Bowl. What do you got, Brandon?
Rich Gannon. That was you were the MVP that year, brother. And Tampa Bay wiped the floor with you. You had multiple turnovers.
Gruden had the answers to the test,
and he had Tony Dungy's roster. I
True.
got Neil O'Donnell.
Okay,
that was terrible.
That was awful.
I had Jared Goff. You can't do all that, brother, with Sean McVay and only scored 3 points.
Okay.
I had Pat Mahomes versus Tampa Bay.
Oh,
brother, you look trash.
In there. Okay.
He didn't look good. Let's call it what it is. As much as we praise him, he got to take a little bit of fall, but hey, you still one of the baby goats. You up there. Cam Newton. That was trash.
That's terrible.
You can't come on all this dancing, doing the. I love Cam, but in the biggest moment, whenever, anytime I think of Cam Newton, sadly, I think of the fumble.
Yeah.
I think of I'm not going in there, even though you got your $100 million contract. I'm not going in there, man. My arm's about to break. That's just what it is.
You gotta do.
You got to do what you got to do, man. And you got maxed out by a declining Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
You got maxed out. And as much talking as you do, now I didn't disagree with you on the game manager stuff. I understand
let's not get into it.
I understand it, but man, that was bad. And
is that your number 1?
Nah, that was number 3. My number 1 was Rich Gannon.
Oh,
he was the MVP. He was the MVP that year. Man, he had a crazy touchdown interception ratio and then laid a brick out there. He had Tim Brown and Jerry Rice out there.
Well, that Tampa Bay
laid an 8.
Different.
It was.
You got anybody else?
Nope. Sure don't.
Top 5. Number 5, Peyton Manning versus Carolina. 13 of 23, 141, 1 interception, 0 touchdowns, and still won the game.
Hold on a second. Carolina.
Wasn't it Carolina?
No, it was New Orleans.
Denver? Oh, my bad. Hold
on. No, that was Seattle.
Was it Seattle? I don't know why I have Carolina
MVP.
in here.
Ooh, that was bad. Yeah, Peyton, you in there too.
Yeah,
no Peyton in there.
John Elway in 1988 versus the Washington Redskins, 14 for 38, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions in that game. Rex Grossman versus the Indianapolis Colts in 2006. He was 20 for 28, 165. He had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and he fumbled the ball about 1 million times. Neil O'Donnell threw 2 interceptions to the same guy. Got to put him in there. He had 3 total interceptions in that game, 28 for 49. And then my number 1, most garbage juice quarterback of all time in the Super Bowl, Cam Newton versus the Broncos.
Oh, God.
18 for 41, 265, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble, and pouted on the podium after the game. Can't have it. You alluded to it. You can't be Superman, dancing, I'm awesome, I'm dabbing, and then lose the game and get up to the podium and go, I don't want to talk to y'all.
Yeah, no. I like Cam, but that was show me a sore loser, or show you a loser. He said something like that.
Yeah, no.
Show me a good winner, and I'll show you, or a good loser, I'll show you a loser. I like, nah, bro, you just got to get up there and take it.
All that talk about Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy had a better Super Bowl than you did, and he addressed the media after the loss. So
and took accountability.
And I appreciate it.
Oh, for everybody.
Yeah,
he sure the youngest pup took accountability. He didn't have to do that.
No.
That wasn't on you, man. That's on our coach, man. Coach,
so we need to
players win games, coaches lose them.
We need to bring this up because people won't stop talking about it. There's been a lot of conversation on the social medias. So let's see. I think
talk to me. What's going on?
are kind of in the same boat here. But Mahomes was with his third win in 4 years now. He's got his back-to-back. GOAT status convo has started. Man, it's hard to give him and just say he's the greatest of all time for me. But where are you at with it? I'll let you share your feelings about it first. I mean, how do you feel about his GOAT status currently?
You're on the right track. You're on the right road. You know, there could be some valleys and some things that happen in your career at this. What is this? His 7th year. This is his 7th year. 6th year, and you got 3 Super Bowl rings. Hell, that's a hell of a run right now, right? Now let's see. That's the first.
You're right, 7th. He didn't play.
Okay, so this is really really he's in the second phase of his career, right? So the first phase, hey, won MVP, right? Won a couple rings. You lost one. You couldn't beat Tom Brady, which that is always gonna stain you. I'm just gonna be honest. You got to get 8 to beat him. And you've got to have the consistency level throughout all the years. Just like what you just did this year, Tom Brady has damn near done that in every Super Bowl.
Correct. Now,
he did that with less. Now, though he had Gronk, but hey, he got Kelsey.
There's going to be one disadvantage. I think Brady was able to have consistency in his organization. And what I mean by that is he had Belichick and a strong coaching staff ownership the whole time. Now, at some point, Andy Reid is going to retire. I don't see Andy Reid coaching for the next 8 to 10 years. So at some point,
what is he, 65?
Thought he was 70. Yeah. Oh. Let's look that up. But, hey, if we had somebody on the back end working for us, we'd be able to know how old he is.
So I feel like
he's 65 years old. You were correct.
Okay, so you got 5 good years, right? Maybe 6. Okay.
So Mahomes is going to
now you're in year 12.
Go through a coaching change, maybe at some point.
Mahomes is going to go through a roster change.
There was already talking of Andy Reid retiring.
Bro, the thing about it is, like, I'm waiting to see how good Mahomes is when Reid leaves.
Me too.
Because I feel like he gets away with so much stuff that is very unorthodox and not really ideal to be consistently successful with how he works with his footwork. Some of his reads sometimes it can be very questionable. His ball security when he's running around like this with one hand, like it's just it's the little things that just like it's cringy, but he gets away with it. And I feel like Andy has allowed this to happen. And it's worked, right? Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But what happens when you don't have some of these weapons, right? What happens when Kelsey leaves? What happens when, Chris Jones leaves? What happens when Snead and some of these guys? What happens when Steve Spagnuolo leaves, right? And so that's what I'm waiting to see to determine, okay, is he the greatest of all time? I think he's one of the greatest talents of all time. I think he's got a long way to go to catch Brady because, dude, I was watching Brady when I was in junior high, and I'm a 36-year-old man.
There you go.
And that dude just retired. You see what I'm saying? The body of work is just, it's so long. You're in like the 5th chapter right now.
Yeah. I don't even know if we can say
Mahomes of a 500-600 page book.
I don't know if we can even say Mahomes is the most talented quarterback. I would say he's the most unorthodox quarterback we've ever seen have this much success. He is extremely talented. He's not. People would argue that maybe Lamar Jackson is the most talented quarterback, depending on your style and preference, whether you like a guy that can run a 4-1 and run away from everybody, or you like a guy like Mahomes that isn't as fast but is a little bit more shifty and really is more creative with his arm style, right? I don't know. I think he's amazing. I think he's in the conversation, but God,
he's definitely in the conversation.
He hasn't even passed Montana yet, folks. Montana won 4, lost 0. So,
and that's his next step.
Yeah.
And Montana never threw picks in Super Bowls.
That's true. And to be fair, he just threw his first one this weekend.
No, he did not.
That was his first.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was his first one in like 165.
Yeah, but I'm saying in Super Bowls, bro. Pat, this is probably Pat's best Super Bowl game. Pat doesn't normally play amazing in Super Bowls. He does it late and then gets the MVP.
It's his best statistically. He finally got over 300
Yeah,
yards.
he finally got over
hadn't seen
300
that.
yards, right? I think we knew that was going to happen, but I think this was honestly his best one because he did more with less. And then he dealt with a depleted receiver, core, right? Kind of rookies, had a rookie Rashid Rice. You got Pacheco, who's a late round draft pick. I mean, you're just dealing with all types of different guys, right? And you don't look the same. This is the perfect time for us to beat them, and we couldn't. And he's that special. And maybe it's just this era where, shit, man, we might be the Utah Jazz. Like, we just can't beat them. Like, he's beat us every time, bro. I've never seen us beat Mahomes.
How did they win with the same play they ran last year with Scotty Moore?
It's just a different.
Play. It was the same play if you look at it. It was the same exact play.
Was the formation different?
No.
I thought that was a little bit different. Yeah, I mean, that's that whip motion that Green Bay and Devontae Adams use all the time. Yeah. I love it because it creates a leverage advantage. And so that's how that really works. And so when you got a guy, when you see that speed motion out, in my opinion, as that outside backer, I'm getting way out there. I'm like, I know this is coming. I know this is coming.
But you know what they do then? Then they make that adjustment and they come back under you.
Yeah. And now, if you do that, now all you got to do is just play space and ends don't crash. If you crash on Mahomes, you're done. Yeah, all you have to do is get upfield, bro.
Bosa did a good job of not crashing on Mahomes most of the day.
He did great.
He did a really good job of that.
We had a lot of pressure on him, man. We were on him. And the thing about it for me with Mahomes, man, he just, I don't know, man. It's a killer instinct. And he's super competitive. He's super competitive. He doesn't have to have the best mechanics in the world. He reminds me of a mix of Brett Favre and John Elway and Steve Young. That's exactly who he plays like. He plays like Steve Young. Like, if we watch the 90s and watch Steve Young, you watching Mahomes to a degree. The little sidearm stuff.
He wasn't throwing
the little sidearm.
He wasn't throwing much off platform as Mahomes is. Mahomes is the first guy being able to do some of the stuff.
I think that's more Brett.
Yeah.
That's Brett. That's Brett. Shortstop. Yeah, right. Like he's got that physical presence and size like an Elway. He's not overly tall. Like, I mean, he's 6'2".
You know, what he does,
his body's he's put together.
Elway and Favre, those are the guys that used to try to thread the needle. You don't really see Mahomes trying to thread the needle too much.
He never throws in the teeth of the defense. He's checking down a lot of stuff. The best time when he is at his best is when he ad-libs. Now, I would love to see him throw on time in the teeth of the defense a little bit more. But that's all coaching too. And once you get out of an Andy Reid system, I want to see really how good you are. Because unlike, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish.
Unlike Patrick Mahomes, who's had Andy Reid for years, Tom Brady had like several different offensive coordinators. The only consistent one was Josh McDaniel. And we all know the kind of coach he is.
Right. I always thought, you said it earlier, I thought Tom Brady was always like the Michael Jordan because of the killer instinct. Man, when we talk about comparisons, it just dawns on me now that Patrick Mahomes...
It's because he's a freak.
Mahomes, to me, is like a Magic Johnson. He's a facilitator, and he can make the crazy splash play when you need him to. And he's friendly, and he's energetic, and everybody loves to be around him. Everybody loves Magic, And that's
Tom is more like Mike. His personality is more like Mike.
Tommy, right. It's more, hey, I'm not messing with you. I'm beating you, and I'm going home.
Pat's is like, hey, I'm Mahomes. I'm Mahomes. How can you not like it like Mahomes? Like, damn, man, every time I play this quarterback, I'm like, damn, he's so damn good.
And he's so likable, right? He's just good.
Yeah,
and he's likable.
A good family man. Love that. He need to talk to his family. Y'all need to have an intervention. Y'all need to have a huddle meeting. That's too much money on the line for y'all to be acting out in public.
Right, that's true. Especially
y'all better chill out. Y'all represent him too.
I know how you feel about this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Brock Purdy stood toe to toe with the greatest quarterback in the game today. He's your franchise quarterback in San Francisco?
1,000%.
Okay. Do all your fans feel the same?
1,000%. I feel more confident. I feel more confident in that dude than I ever have now. Because now it's just like, okay, you're on the biggest stage. There's so many people watching you. You're close to the home. You're an Arizona kid, but you're in Las Vegas, and all eyes are on you. and it's an opportunity for you to rise the occasion. And the dude did not flinch.
No, he
The
played
dude
great.
came out and, hey, did you kill it? No, you didn't kill it. But you did a damn good job, man. Like we got to keep thinking. We got to stop thinking like Brock Purdy's a 10-year vet. This kid's a first-year starter.
Right.
And took him to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Took them to the Super Bowl. 70% of the offense was Brock Purdy. We got to stop saying, oh, he's a bus driver or a game manager. He is a game manager with an elite skill set from the neck up. Also can game change with his ability to get outside the pocket and hurt you.
I don't think game managers should even be a thing because every quarterback has to be able to manage the game.
He's got game-changing ability.
We should either call a quarterback a bus driver or a game changer, and he's certainly not a bus driver. There's some bus drivers in the league. He's not one of them.
I ain't even going to say the bus driver. I'm going to say, hey, man, just get in the car. Don't fall asleep. Get in the car and don't fall asleep.
Yeah. By the way, there's been a couple of those to win Super Bowls in the day. One of which was in Baltimore, and their first Super Bowl had Trent Dilfer, who was the ultimate bus driver to me.
Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl.
Hey, but Brad Johnson's pretty damn good, though.
He was okay, but he
wasn't pretty good now.
He wasn't great. So, which quarterback playing today in your mind? I mean, Tom Brady had Peyton Manning. Who does Mahomes have to rival him? Does he have anybody?
Joe Burrow.
Does he?
If Joe Burrow can stay healthy.
See, I don't think there is one. I think it's too late for
Josh Allen. Josh Allen's beat him.
I mean, rival him, though. Get to the Super Bowl a few times. I think it's too late for Allen, Burrow, and Lamar because
I think it's Herbie.
Play in the AFC, man. They all three.
I think it's Herbie.
Herbert might be the one.
Only
because he's got Jim Harbaugh coming in.
Exactly. That's my only thing because I was just like toe-to-toe. Now let's just jump in the chat. He's like, now that some time passed, I got to give Kyle a bit of slack. He lost to the greatest QB. He's lost to two of the greatest QBs. However, I believe Kyle needs a coordinator to call plays so he can actually be a head coach. That guy, Cardo, I 1,000% agree with you. He needs counseling. He needs a consultant. He needs somebody to be like, dude, hey, come here, buddy. Let's talk on the phone. All right, what are you doing? What's going on? Watch the rhythm of your plays. I totally agree. Sorry, I had to go to the chat there.
That's okay. Yeah, I don't think there's, maybe Herbert is somebody's going to have to go on an epic run. What I do love about this is that we've gone from Montana to Aikman to Brady, we put Manning in there to Mahomes. I'm just talking about the ultimate greats of those decades, right? The guys who won multiple Super Bowls. And now we have Mahomes and who's going to be next. And as we talk about who's going to be next, we have a draft class coming in.
Hold on, before you say that, though.
Go ahead.
Before you say that.
Yeah.
There's one kid I'm forgetting about.
Who?
That kid from the South, C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud? Here's the thing, though. Situation is important.
They got the skill players.
Okay, we're going to find out. I mean, again, Mahomes is not going anywhere. So, and he's young. Some of these younger guys are going to have a hard time catching up when he's already got 3 under his belt. It's just going to be hard. It's going to be very, very difficult.
Brock Purdy, go catch him.
But Kyle
just can't be poo.
There's some new quarterbacks coming in this year. I'm going to give you my top 5 rookies coming in. Okay, I've got number 1, Drake May is my number 1 guy. My number 2 guy is Michael Penix. The only reason he's not number 1 is the injuries that he's had. My number 3 guy is Bo Nix, over 60 starts in college. He's won with 2 major programs. And then number 4 is going to be Jaden Daniels. I feel like he just kind of emerged on the scene. He's a great athlete. Is he going to be able to adapt to the NFL game quickly? I don't know, but I think there's some opportunity for him to do that. And my number 5 is J.J. McCarthy. You notice I don't put Williams in there because
wow, the disrespect is real.
Yeah, I think J.J. is man. I think he's got an okay arm. I think he's got okay athletic ability. I think he's very Brock Purdy-like.
He runs a 4.4.
Yeah, but he doesn't run like that. He can, but
Oh, okay.
they don't ask. He didn't run like that in college.
He runs like a deer.
He runs the throw. He's not looking to get out of the pocket and take off and do all those types of things.
Don't you compare that boy to Brock Purdy then?
I'm telling you, because I think that could be a story. I think he's going to
he's
go
a
to
winner.
a team and back somebody up and then
It helps.
maybe take over the job at one point and shock the world. And he's a
cutting
winner.
out
He's
bad,
got the best winning percentage of all time in college football as a starting quarterback. So,
Nah, you cutting out.
yeah, you're cutting out too. But we just got to stick with it because we know it's going to be all right. So, those are my 5, not counting Caleb Williams. Who do you got?
For me, my number 1 quarterback off the board, despite his injuries, has got to be Michael Penix, most polished pocket quarterback in the draft. His processor is quick. I look what people. If you want to succeed in the NFL from day one, if your processor ain't there, good luck, right? And we've seen C.J. Stroud come in and Brock Purdy come in, and their processor is A1. Daniels, he's a playmaker, but needs to learn how to slide. That dude's getting hit like crash test dummy. Like when I see him get hits, bro, he's gonna get mocked, right? So, the other one I have is Caleb Williams. I mean, we can't deny his ability. I just don't know if he has it from the neck up. I don't know if he has the actual maturity that it's going to take. Unlike a kid like Mahomes, as crazy as his skill set is, right? It's very similar to Caleb. But Mahomes has a bit of a better head on his shoulders. He didn't think that he was bigger than everybody else. I get that impression with Caleb. And all this, this weird, man, he's just weird dude, right? But whatever. And I'm a USC Trojan fan, but I'm like, all right, bro, you can spin it. We're gonna see. Number 4, I got JJ McCarthy. He's a proven winner. He needs to bulk up, but a backup, he needs to be behind a vet first.
Yeah.
Right. I think he could learn the game a little bit. I mean, because it's one thing, man. If you're a winner, you're a winner. And he could be like this kind of, he could be like a Brock Purdy or a Kirk Cousins style, or we'll see, right? Let's see how quick his processor is. My sleeper, it definitely ain't Drake May. I'll never draft
it. Yeah, you don't even have him.
I'll never draft a North Carolina quarterback.
Okay.
No.
Fair enough.
I mean, look at the proof. Mitchell Trubisky, Sam Hartman. Not Sam Hartman, but Sam Howell.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Sam Howell did lead the league.
I got Joe Milton. I got Joe Milton from Tennessee, and I tell you why.
You believe in Joe?
No. It's not that I believe in him. I'll tell you why. And I see how this game is changing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is a big, strong kid that can move. Not only can he move, but he would be in a great fit with the right type of coach, under the right system, under the right veteran leadership. I don't think any of these guys can go in and start day one. Not one of them. I think Caleb's going to be forced to. Outside of that, I don't really think anybody's truly prepared. But I think Milton, with his skill set, if you go back and watch in college, there's nobody with an arm like him. There's nobody.
No, he's got a strong arm. My problem with Milton is that if he's not
it's their offense, bro.
Yeah, if he's not throwing a screen pass, he's throwing an 80-yard bomb to somebody that's wide.
It's not their offense. So, Josh Heupel likes to create these super wide splits.
Yep.
And they're just a very gimmicky offense. I feel like if you put him in a system like the Rams and have him back up Matt Stafford and under Sean McVay, I feel like that is a perfect situation for him. Right? You go to a Miami and learn under McDaniels and back up Tua for a little bit. Right? You can even go to Tampa Bay, back up Baker for a while. Let Baker guide you. Let him do his thing. Yeah. And then you already be in a system to where you're familiar with this. Your processor is going to be quicker. So I think Joe Milton actually has the highest upside. If I'm a scout and I'm looking at him, I'm not just really looking at this offense, but I want to see how he communicates and how quick his processor is. Because, dude, if you look at him, the dude's a physical freak.
He is.
Like, he's huge.
But
he went to Michigan, didn't he?
Yep. And there was a reason why he transferred. I mean,
well, he's not as dangerous. He's not as dangerous as an AR5, right? I think he's gonna protect himself a little bit more. But as far as these other guys, there's honorable mentions that I think would be a huge opportunity to get someone. We'll probably let Sam Darnold go, but I would go pick up Sam Hartman from Notre Dame.
I like
I feel
Sam
like the
Hartman.
kid's polished. I feel like he's probably the most polished guy, to be honest.
Yeah, I like Sam
As far
Hartman.
as body of work, consistency over time, has won some big games. He's got great leadership. He's a leader of men. I feel very comfortable with him in my locker room. I have Bo Nix as an honorable mention. I just feel like Bo Nix, man. I mean, I just feel it's your offense, bro, because you didn't look good at all in Auburn.
But he won with Auburn. He won games there.
I mean, he did,
He
man.
won
I'm
big
just
games.
I'm not enamored with Bo Nix, man. And the fact that somebody said Bo Nix, whoever was it, Colin Coward said Bo
It
Nix
was
is a better
Colin.
version of Brock Purdy. Colin Coward, whoever you get your sources from, bro, fire him. You're wrong damn near all the time. Your cast saves you. I watch you religiously, Colin, and it's very disappointing because I feel like you just hate on us for no reason.
Oh, see, that sounded a little personal.
It is. It is
That
a little
sounded
personal shot,
Okay.
man. You got all these people in your head feeding you clips and things. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the volume. But, man, some of your takes on your boy, dog, it just lets me know you really don't understand the game. You
But
don't understand the game.
let's run down where we think some of these guys are going to go. And this is just a quick brief. We're going to do more of this throughout the offseason, and we're going to talk a lot about this on the Couch Coach when we do our Couch Coach offseason stuff. But just really quickly, I looked at the draft and where it sits today, thinking who could go where. This is my quick. This is where quarterbacks could go. Caleb Williams getting drafted number 1 to the Washington Redskins as they trade with the Chicago Bears. The Bears then take Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 2. That'd be great. Yeah. Drake May to New England with the 3rd pick. They need a quarterback. Jaden Daniels to Atlanta with the 8th pick. Michael Penix to Seattle with the 16th pick.
He needs to go to New Orleans.
Then who's that? Michael Penix or Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels needs to go to.
I have him going.
Daniels needs to go to.
I have him going to Atlanta, and then I have Bo Nix going to the New York Giants at 6 because they have a contract with Daniel Jones that they can get out of. So it's enticing to get a Bo Nix there if you're the Giants. I don't know. You got Spencer Rattler was also listed in the top 10. I feel like he's going to be a career backup somewhere.
I feel like he might be good.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know, man. Like
he was MVP of the Senior Bowl.
He's gonna have to humble himself.
So I don't know.
Maybe he has been humbled.
What do you think of that list, man? Where do you think some of these guys are going to end up?
I like that list, man. I feel like everybody's going to jump on Drake May's train. I mean, I know he's a competitor. He comes from a whole line of athletes. If you ever looked at his story,
yeah, he's big,
bro. All his brothers are bigger than him.
God, I didn't know that.
Yeah, basketball players, played at UNC, baseball. Like, he comes from a whole line of athletes. So I know it's the athlete I'm getting. However, I've seen you disappear in games, man. It's going to be hard for me to pull the trigger on you. I think him and Penix are sadly – I know Drake May is going to go up the board, but I feel like Penix is going to fall just due to all those injuries that he's had in the past. I feel –
You know that the OC from Washington, I think I read today, that was supposed to go to Alabama is now going to the Seattle Seahawks. So that really swayed me to think that they really want to find a way to get Michael Penix in the building.
Oh, I mean, he knows I think it'll be a great opportunity for him to learn under Gino. Similar, skill set.
Yeah.
Pocket guys like to throw the ball, right? I feel like Penix needs a year to where he can feel like he doesn't have to play, to where he can heal his body. Because, dude, you got beat up. Not only did you get beat up, but, man, you've been beat up year in and year out, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm a team, like I say Washington's going to go get Caleb. I just think it's a match made in heaven.
I think so, too.
I mean,
100%.
He's back in his home city. I feel like J.J. McCarthy would be a great fit for the Raiders. Or he could possibly be –
O'Connell. Why would they get rid of Aiden O'Connell right now?
I don't know if he's going to be the guy, though.
What about I have him at Minnesota.
He's had some good games, but he's had some trash games, brother.
Listen, I have JJ in a couple really good situations, right? Let's say Minnesota decides to keep Kirk Cousins and get him on a 2-year deal. 3-year
I
deal.
think that'd be great.
J.J. McCarthy could go there. I have J.J. McCarthy maybe going to New Orleans and sitting behind Derek Carr for a year and taking over. And then I have him going to Denver. The problem with Denver is I think Russell Wilson's out the door and you're going to need to play right away. And I don't want to see J.J. play right away. I don't think he's a play right away guy. So I don't know that Denver's the best spot if Russell Wilson is indeed out the door, which I think he is.
Am I crazy to think the only guy I feel like who can play right away is Penix and Sam Hartman?
No, because they both played.
I just feel like they have a whole body of work.
Well, they both played in pro-style offenses. They played in big-time college football games. They have the most pocket presence of the quarterbacks that we're talking about. I agree. I think they both could play right away, but Michael Penix, he's been through those injuries, and he got so beat up in that Michigan game. I'd like to see him get a year under a vet.
I don't really see any day one starters outside of a Caleb Williams just because they're going to force that hand.
They are. He's going to start day one in Washington. I don't know what they're going to do with Sam Howell.
Ticket sales, bro.
And that's, you know what? That's fine because the Bears won't have to. They'll get at least a couple draft picks out of that, and they'll get their guy at receiver.
I hope Justin runs to Atlanta with Zach Robinson.
How? He's going to get paid with the Bears. Why would he go anywhere?
I hope he runs because he needs to run.
He can't just run. He can't just.
I know because the Bears are the Bears are a shit show, bro.
It's not college
when it comes to developing
quarterbacks. Portal in the NFL.
Hey, I forgot to speak of that, man. Congrats on Mongo getting in the Hall of Fame, man.
Oh, thank you.
That had my ass teary-eyed, boy, when I saw his story. I was like, oh, damn. I'm over here watered up and shit. I'm like,
I met him as a kid, which was awesome. We go to Platteville every year, and so I met him as a kid, and he was great, very gracious. And then I have some friends that were part of the Kane County Eagles that I played football with them. And then they ended up running the Chicago Slaughter. And McMichael was part of that group as well as McMahon.
Oh, nice.
And so they became very close with the McMichaels. And Alan Parkins is a good friend of mine. We call him Doc. And he's been keeping up with Steve McMichael. And I saw he had an emotional post when Steve got in. It was great to see his wife get up on stage at the honors and go out there and represent.
Talk about a rider, man.
Man.
I hope he can get to it, man. I hope he can see it, man.
I hope he sees it. That'd be the best.
I hope he can see it. It's I didn't know Mongo from the Bears. No. I know Mongo from wrestling, WCW.
Well, he was a
part of the Horsemen,
like a wrestler, bro.
But he used to come in with his Chicago Bears stuff, and I didn't remember the '85 Bears. I was like, who's this big old dude?
Oh man,
I'm just saying, man. That's a great story. I just wanted to shout that out. That I don't normally water up during things, but ever since I've had a son, it's like the emotion is there.
I can't lie to you.
That was so emotional, bro. I was like, damn.
I cried during the entire Hall of Fame, and everyone that got in, I was like, congratulations.
What's your fanboy ass?
Oh man,
such a fan.
I just love
such
football.
A fan. I know I love football, man, but I gotta.
Is there anybody in this draft class you think? Forget about who's playing now. Is there anybody that's going to come out this year and be the guy that's going to challenge Patrick Mahomes?
Brock Purdy.
Okay, he's not coming out this year. Are there any quarterbacks?
Oh, okay. Hell no.
You can challenge Brock. No, you're not going to say.
Ain't none. Mm-mm.
People are going to say that Caleb Williams can. I disagree.
Caleb ain't got that mindset, bro.
You know what?
One thing I loved about Pat would die on his shield, boy, in Texas Tech. He would try everything.
He would, but
Caleb didn't. Fair, Caleb cries in the stands.
Nobody. Well, yeah, Caleb's character is in question, but no one saw this coming from Patrick Mahomes either. Nobody saw this, right? So it's like
you saw the flash, though.
Yeah, okay. I don't see one either.
If I was to say anybody,
I don't see one.
I'm going to say Jaden Daniels.
Oh, the rawest one of them all.
The rawest one of them all. Okay. Hey, but wasn't Pat the rawest one of them all too?
It is, but again, situation matters. And I think Patrick Mahomes going to the Chiefs, going, under Andy Reid.
Alex Miggs.
Being under Alex Smith for a year, that really helped him. And some of these guys are going to be put in a situation where, they're going to – if you go to Washington, that franchise is a shit show. That it just is. You're not going to succeed there. I don't care how good
And
you
Caleb's
are.
a sore loser anyway, so maybe he can go cry in the stands again.
He's
I
not going
don't
to
mind
enjoy
the
his rookie year.
crying. We all done cried, right? We've all cried on our game. But dude, you knew the camera was on you. That's a
I didn't like him since he painted his fingernails.
that's just weird, man. Caleb is a football emo. That's what I'm gonna call him. Tonight will be the night.
He's a weirdo.
The only thing normal is his waves and the edge up. He got a clean taper now.
As we close out the show, man, it's been a lot of fun. We appreciate everyone that has tuned into the QB Huddle podcast this year, our first year doing it. Folks, next year we plan to be bigger, better, have bigger guests. Don't forget, here in the next couple of weeks, we will be taking a little bit of time, but we will be covering the UFL. So we'll have those quarterbacks. We're going to educate you on who those guys are, tell you about their stories, and with any luck, get a bunch of them here on the show. And we're going to follow the UFL season as closely as we are allowed to, and hope that you guys will join us on that ride. Don't forget to join us on the Couch Coach here in the off season as we discuss all the things that we expect to happen and who's going to climb to the top and be the Super Bowl champions in 2024. But Brandon, what was your favorite quarterback moment this year?
Besides my own?
Outside of Dak or Purdy for both of us. And I had some favorite moments out of Dak this year, but what was your favorite quarterback moment?
My favorite quarterback moment. Well,
great year.
It has been a great year. And I would say to see the two young brothers, CJ Stroud and Jordan Love, come into their own. In a very pressure, it's on now. Let's see what you got. And man, NFL's in some good shape, dude. Because CJ Stroud and Jordan Love are like,
man, I hate that we're talking about Jordan Love.
We were playing Jordan Love, and I just sat back. I was like,
Jordan's supposed to suck.
Oh, snap.
Jordan's supposed to suck. The Packers are supposed to suck, and they don't.
I'm very, it's not that I'm jealous, but it's just like one of my best buddies, Debo, he's a huge Packer fan since we were kids. And he has seen them all.
Oh.
I was like, Debo, how?
They went from generational.
You know how many quarterbacks I went through?
Right? They're the only team I know that went from generational quarterback to generational quarterback to generational quarterback.
Sounds like they do things the right way. And I think what CJ Stroud has created in this Texas state is you're not just the only Texas team.
I know.
They're coming to claim it, brother. They're better than y'all. They are.
Okay.
The quarterback's way better.
Way better.
Way better.
Way better.
Way better.
I'm not going to go there yet.
Too much.
I need to see it next year. I need to see it.
Nah. Hey, man, I really hope. Listen, man.
Awesome, but
as much noise as y'all have talked to me, I have no sympathy stuff. It's okay, brother. Because I actually felt sorry for y'all old ass when you can't never get anywhere. But now, since you said that on the beginning of the show, I'm taking receipts. I'm putting it in my mind.
Okay.
I'm putting it back in the bank.
You telling me that you're upset that you can't win the Super Bowl even though you're there every other year is like a rich man telling a poor man he's upset because he's got to take his Mercedes to the stop.
But here's y'all's rebuttal. When I say that, what's your rebuttal? But did you win? Did you win?
Well,
did you win?
Listen, you talk about our playoff woes. You haven't won a Super Bowl in a longer drought than the Cowboys.
You're right, but we've gotten there and we've been more relevant than you guys been outside of like
no
all
one
your merchandise
second
sales.
Place.
Hey, I get it, but it seems like everybody seems to remember the Niners every year because they're favorited every year, damn near.
They are. That's true. Well,
so, hey, maybe we'll finish the race. We'll see. Until then, appreciate all the fans, subscribers, people in the comments. Man, it's been a great season. We have an off season coming up. We're going to take a few weeks. We're going to reevaluate some things. We're coming back with some heat. Just stay tuned to it. UFL coverage. We got to really do our research on that. Hopefully there's an opportunity to really work with them. I know, we have an opportunity to play some golf with some important people here in the next couple of days. So
yeah, we do.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. Maybe we're kicked or tail. Probably will, but I'm just kidding, guys. It's all competition at its finest, man. And my co-host, man, Tim, man, it's been an honor, bro. You've been on top of it. I think it's the offensive side in us. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's the offensive
I
side
hear
in
you.
us,
I hear
and
you.
I feel like we're only going to continue to ascend. Couch Coach is going to bring some heat. We're working on a defensive podcast where I think you're going to have some great defensive minds come in. If you love defense, this is something that we're planning on doing once a week. We really want to create a huge platform, not only just for this show, but several shows that we may have across the board, and get ready to just be dumped with so much content your way. So I'm looking forward to it. So Tim, it's been awesome, man. I
It has been a
appreciate
lot
it.
of fun
And I
doing that.
appreciate you not giving me shit this week, man.
No,
That's a
I
true
couldn't do
friend.
that. I couldn't do
That's
that.
a true friend.
I hope you
It's
remember
unlike my uncles who never say shit to me. Never.
until Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, what can I say?
Well,
We'll try again next year.
I'm gonna tell you my favorite quarterback moment of the year. It wasn't a moment; it was a season, and it came from Baker Mayfield signing with the Buccaneers, winning the division, winning a playoff game, going to the Pro Bowl, becoming the Pro Bowl MVP. I'm a huge Baker Mayfield fan. I've been riding for that guy since he came in the league. So congratulations to Baker Mayfield. Maybe we can get Baker Mayfield on the QB Huddle podcast one day. That'd be great. Hey guys, if you know somebody who knows somebody, we're still waiting for Tony Romo. Now the season's over. So CBS, you got some time off. Come on the show, Tony. Tell us what you're thinking. We need some Tony Romo on the QB Huddle. Brandon, thanks for doing this, man, and joining this, going on this journey with me this year. This was awesome.
Yeah, it was fun, dude.
It was a lot of fun. It made us watch football, I think, in a different way. Made me certainly take my fan hat off in a lot of games and just kind of evaluate.
Called a lot of good games,
hot
man.
Topics and stuff, man. It was a lot of fun. We hope you guys enjoyed the QB Huddle podcast this year, and hope you'll stick with us through the UFL. That's going to be it for the QB Huddle for 2023 NFL season. Please like and subscribe, share, let the folks know that you're watching a pretty good podcast with a couple quarterback nerds, and that's what we are. We're a couple quarterback nerds, and we love it.
Yeah, that's all it is, man.
We're going to take a few weeks off, but you'll know when we're coming back because we'll let you know on our socials, and we will see you in a couple weeks as we start talking about the UFL and the upcoming NFL 2024 season. See ya.
Peace.